It is the best show in town. It is the best LGBTQIA show. So darling, why haven't you subscribed? Monday to Thursday, bringing you breaking news Wahala. On Friday, sex, education. And Saturday, burning questions. You know, all those questions you've been thinking of asking. Saturday is the day for you, darling. Ask your questions about religion, your questions about what you want to know about us, your question about anything. You can access anything on Saturdays doing burning questions. And you know one thing, you could to be the lucky winner to win our giveaways on Saturdays. And on Sundays, to crown it all, we have the market woman and shade girl. So darling, why do you want to miss out on all these interesting things? Help this channel by clicking the subscribe button.
Biggest, hottest, and the baddest breaking news segment in the entire planet. And like we always say, the best part is that it's LGBTQI news only. And welcome to Breaking News Wahala. Q Talk. My name is Marvelous Achaf Kelechi, your host, and I'm always joined by Chimerizi Awunaya in our Toronto studios in Canada. Welcome, Chimerizi. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Chefo. I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I am very, very fine. It's a beautiful day, a beautiful season, and the holidays are coming. How are you planning on the holidays?
No plans yet. Just normally Q talks and doing what we do
maybe
best.
We'll go for that vacation together. We always want to have. So please put me in that vacation, December vacation. So today on Breaking News Wahala, another sad story. Story about a man, a guy, very, very comfortable guy. You guys will see the video now. Comfortable guy, doing well. I even heard that he was a businessman that was ketoed, stripped naked by keto. He even mocked him, said, "Oh, you want to come here to mock? Fuck Yash. You won't come here, come fuck Yash. Yash, they find." Just set a form of things on it, dehumanizing him. And as usual, again, we are asking our NGOs that continue to sleep like Sleeping Beauty. When are you guys going to start bringing justice to ketos? Because obviously our NGOs have started to sleep. That's what they are good at doing, and also looking for reactive pillar to boast, neglecting the fact that LGBTI community members are suffering. Keto has become a business, big, full-blown in our faces. But what they continue to do is set up GBV, and ask them what that gender-based violence. For those who don't know what GBV means, it means gender-based violence reports. What are they doing with the reports, and how has it bettered the life of community members? Your guess is as good as mine. Take a look at this video. You guys kindly watch this video, and when we come back, we dissect the issue. We speak the truth to power, as we always do. And we advise you to watch the entire episode from beginning to the end, because you won't know it all until you watch it. Can you watch this video? Thank you.
If you are afraid of una be planning to go do homosexual or not? So you be homosexual?
Yes.
You want come fuck man? So how do you know the guy?
So now that we are back, you guys have seen that video. Chimerizi, please do the justice of going first, and I'll go. I have a lot to say, but let me go. But yeah, Chimerizi, please just kindly go.
It's the same thing over and over again. We've seen a lot of these cases in Q Talk where, you know, people get ketoed and they are humiliated, they are filmed. So the first thing these homophobes do is to pull out their phone to film you. I feel this time they always film people naked. So we should take what they use against us as our, as our strategy even to hunt them. I feel this is a high time we begin to have a data where we publish those who are, ketories in the community. We need to listen. Half of the cases that are happening in Nigeria being ketoed is because our community members do not listen. There have been places where JP Crime Fighter Keto Diary has published a lot of ketos. I'm not saying all of the people publish are ketoists, but they have been published in one social media or the other where our community members belong to. They have been published on WhatsApp group where our community members belong to. We say before you go out on any adventure, no matter how sweet romantic that adventure is, always verify the person you're going to meet. Ask community members, una know this person? Have you met with this person? Is this person even part of our community? Never leave your location to go to another state to look for hookup. We've said this over and over again because the consequences still remains the same thing. Now, the fourth thing our community needs to understand is that in this community, there are people who are working with these categories. We should be very honest and frank with ourselves. There are people who are working with this gang of criminals to fish hunt homosexuals to humiliate them. They are in the WhatsApp group. They are in the Facebook group, they are in all groups advocating that, oh no, these people are not ketorists. Meanwhile, they know that they are. Meanwhile, they have experienced these things. And when I'm saying they are working with these ketorists, many people will feel, okay, it is the people who are part of the gang. No, I'm talking about people who have been ketoed. They know they were ketoed by this person, but they purposely, intentionally keep quiet so that another person will become a victim or fall into that same trap. Those are the people I'm talking about. They are working without speaking out. You are working with the same criminals to do the same thing they do. You are just as guilty and you are just as gullible as they are. So I feel community members need to open up. I know it is painful. I myself have gone through situations where I was killed and humiliated. It is painful. It is not easy to talk about it, but not talking about it means that you are encouraging it, you are supporting it, and you are reinforcing it in the community. So I feel we should sit down and tell ourselves the truth. We should create a database of reporting these keto risks, even if it's not JP Crime Fighter or Keto Diaries. If we want to have a community database where we can publish those who are keto risks and make sure that everybody's aware and make sure it is with testimonials which are verifiable, that is one way to go. Secondly, like I earlier stated, make sure you communicate in your group with the LGBT group you belong. Verify the person you are about to meet. Thirdly, there are people who are working with these categories. That is why they know our slogans. That is why they know our languages. That is why they know the techniques of how to catch you. That is why they know what is TB. That is why they know what is top and bottom. So I feel this is high time the community begin to restructure itself, like we talked in this previous video. We need to start changing slogans. We need to start changing passwords in the sense of slangs or the things we use to identify ourselves. We need to restructure this community, and then we need to begin to do what they call snitching. You need to snitch on people who intentionally what's the word who intentionally have been killed and don't want to talk about it, or who are part of these criminals, and they are secretly working with the community. We need to begin to snitch on people, because at the end of the whole day, we need to make sure that our safety is our priority. We know people who have gone through being killed, and nobody wants to talk about those who have been killed. We need to snitch on such people so that we know those who have been killed, and we can approach them and tell them, okay, tell us what happened to you, so that we can have a database on how events, or other word, keep a record of how events has been happening in this community. Apart from QRetalk, I don't think there's any other database of ketos or data updates of how ketos have been operating. QRetalk is the only place where we can have a accurate database of how ketos operate and different stories that have been happening, which is appalling. We need to have a universal database where people can verify people, like I earlier said. Over to you, Mr. Chaffin.
You said a lot of very interesting things, 2 minutes. Very fantastic things. Spoke really well. Whether we like it or not, we can't continue to sit down, fold our arms, and watch as community members continue to become unfortunate in these hands of ketos. They continue to be dehumanized. They continue to be oppressed. They continue to suffer. And yet we have NGOs, lots of them. Almost every month, a new one is coming up, and they cannot address this issue. Some of them even strong enough that I even heard that they are even giving grants to NGOs in other countries. But yet it's a shame that you can't secure the lives of community members in your country. When they ask you in stakeholders meeting, all you keep on giving is excuse upon excuse. We will continue to call you out. Our voice may be small, but no matter how much it continues, it will get louder. That would like you to vote. We start with calling you guys out. Because by now, the kiddos should have been getting it fire for fire. With the grants you guys are getting, with the resources at your disposal, with the funds at your disposal, it should be a battleground for kiddos now. But no, it's not a battleground for kiddos. What we rather see, we see most of these EDs, executive director, taking plane, from plane to plane, from city to city, gaslighting community members, deceiving them. Some even trying to make it seem as if for the community members are the ones that deserve this treatment, or they deserve kiddos. No community member deserves this kiddos. No LGBT community member in any world, in any country in the world, deserves the kind of treatment they're getting in Nigeria. Where kiddos are basically operating a business, collecting money, withdrawing your account, out with your parents, destroying lives. Are we going to continue to watch? No, we're not going to continue to watch. We'll continue to speak out. Those of us that can speak out will speak out. And we'll call those that can make it happen, that can perform better. Because there was once a time we would say, oh, it's people that are godly, people that follow that kid too. Now you like pussy too much. Now you like it too much. You are just. But now we see them setting people up in their own houses. We see them even kidnapping people in what's the name? In bus stops. Almost like a kidnap. They will even bring a taxi or a public transport. I will pick you up in front of this in front of a particular restaurant. A story like that, we have to keep on running this story. It's a particular story I go to. We have to run it. That the person was told to wait in a public restaurant and was made to enter inside the car. When immediately they entered, I said, oh, don't worry, I'll pick you up. And they used the car to pick you up. Pointed the gun at him. He was in that car. The kid basically kidnapped him to the place where they wanted to set him up. And they stayed there for 3 days before his parents finally were able to pay the ransom. They asked for a huge amount of money. I think it was $500,000 or more than $500,000. So they started with $1 million and they negotiated to $500,000. They kept it for 3 days. His family gathered the money and they were able to pay back the kiddos. They were able to give the kiddos back the money. So he paid the kiddos the ransom before it was released. How long can we continue to go like this? No, I asked the question, how long? Because honestly, the news just keeps coming. It's more frustrating. It's more disgusting. It's more appalling. And it needs to be addressed now. The right time is now. No, honestly, the right time is now. There needs to be a solution. No, there needs to be. A businessman like this, a guy probably one of the best in his field, fantastic person, probably has no criminal records, probably has done no harm in his life. Just because it's unfortunate to become an LGBTQI community member. In an unfortunate country like this, where you basically do everything for yourself, where you basically feed yourself, you provide your own clothing, you provide your own water, you provide everything from A to Z, it's basically done by you. Some bunch of criminals, hoodlums, thieves, as you call them, they pick you up overnight one day, they dehumanize you, out your brains, record you, shame you, you use everything in just one single day because of your sexuality. Not because you committed a crime, not because you love people, not because you decided to destroy somebody's life, because you chose to be who you are. And when we talk, some people will mock us, oh, they are known for this thing. That's why when we will continue to speak on the truth, whether people like us or not, we continue to address the truth. We know what to stand for. We stand for the community. You can go on abusing us, you can go on calling us things. But when we say the truth, NGOs have told you their responsibility. They are sleeping beauties. They should change their name to sleeping beauty organizations. Failed in their responsibility, basically. Community members now are left open, just like sheep for wolves to eat, to devour. If the wolves pick this one. When they are tired of picking, they go and rest. They sleep. When they are eating the one they want to eat, they rest. Tomorrow they come and pick again. And we don't find that shameful. We don't find that disturbing. We are not upset in our spirit. We must be jokers. We must be comedians. The victim board is holy. It's just waiting for you to land on. Whether we like it or not, we're all going to become victims one way or the other, unless we leave this country. The victim board is holy. It's not a question of it will not happen or not. It's a question of who, when, how, and the day. It's a question of who now? Who is the next victim? Because the victim body is holy. It won't continue to stop holy until we find this issue, until we find this lasting solution about it. We have a community in Nigeria here, a society, where we can basically have the police in our hands, the police securing us. Because whether we like it or not, yes, people abuse the police, that the police are useless. But it's one of the issues we have with the police. If our NGOs were closer to the police, we would lobby the police. It would have been easier on us. They would have been getting scripture guys, but they're not interested in lobbying the police. Even in fact, some of them have this police, but it's to protect themselves and not community members. They don't care about community members. Community members can go to hell. As far as they are concerned, even when they kidnap them, it's an advantage to them because they will end up writing community reports, filing different reports. Oh, this person was attacked. We had 200 and something cases this year. It's 200 and something cases. Counting the number of cases. How many were you able to solve? How many cases were you able to? How many cases did you bring to justice? That's what we want to hear. We're not concerned about the case. It can be 1,000 cases, but did you bring at least half of them? Can we give you a 50% pass mark? That 50 of these cases they were brought to justice was served in 50 of these cases. That's what we should be talking about. That's what I want to hear. That should be the way forward for community members. Not all this talking that we've been trying to talk. Community members dying. Continue to call them out. Continue to stand on the truth. They may not like us, but we know where we stand. We stand on the side of the truth, and we stand for community members. To me, is any final words? So we call it about.
So, final words for me. Marvelous has said it. NGOs has a responsibility in these cases. We need to keep track of trends that have been happening. I've said that before. We need to have a data report of ketos where we can report who are ketos. Not a one-man database, like a community database that can be verified with testimonials. We need to speak up. Those that have been ketoed, please come out, tell your story. It is difficult, it is hard. Yes, you don't want to say it is emotion. I know, but by saying your story, you are helping another person not become a victim. Like Marvelous has said, the victim board is rolling round. It will soon be your turn. The thing is that now they are not even taking it far. Who knows what the next strategy of this ketoris will be? Do you know if they will start taking people's life one by one? Do you know if they will start doing targeting poisoning? There are so many harms from keeping quiet, and shying away from this problem will not bring a solution. Talking about it without even looking for a solution is out of the board now. We are done having conversation. We are done having conferences. We are done having RIP. This is a high time we need to start talking about solutions. What are the possible solutions? We've been giving out the possible solutions, but it seems like nobody cares. Nobody wants to know. Everybody is more focused on themselves and being selfish. But at the end of the whole day, like we've said it, one man cannot win a battle. One man cannot fight a war. We need to come together and collaborate to end this one common enemy in our community. We have a community. Our community should be responsible. Our community should speak out together. Our community, even if we don't agree in anything, we should come together in this one situation and agree to do something together. There are so many things we have said in this video that I feel NGOs can take from it. NGOs can learn from it. Community leaders can take from it. Community leaders can learn from it. Please, being scared or running away from the problem will not bring solutions. So let us be solution oriented so that we can at least find a close to justice. We remember the case of Bobby Moses. That should still be a lesson that yes, we can find justice even in the face of injustice.
It's our offering for this episode on Kiwo Talk. Don't forget to always join us every time. Watch our videos, like, share, subscribe. Recommend us to people, recommend us to your friends, your families. Let them watch, let them learn a lot too. We will keep on opening the eyes of community. We keep on speaking truth to power. We don't care about you. We don't care who you are. We don't care what you are from. We will say the truth as it is. We keep it real. And we always do a team easy. We are always here back to back. Till all eternity safe. To being it as hot as it is. Till next episode. See you next time.
It is the best show in town. It is the best LGBTQI issue. So darling, why haven't you subscribed? Monday to Thursday, bringing you breaking news Wahala. On Friday, sex education. And Saturday, burning questions. You know, all those questions you've been thinking of asking Saturday is the day for you, darling. Ask your questions about religion, your questions about what you want to know about us, your question about anything. You can access anything on Saturdays doing burning questions. And you know one thing, you could to be the lucky winner to win our giveaways on Saturdays. And on Sundays, to crown it all, we have the market women and shade girls. So darling, why do you want to miss out on all these interesting things? Help this channel by clicking the subscribe button.